Hello everybody, my name's Brian, and welcome to week 3 of Brian not doing his homework and having to come up with something on the fly to record this week. So we are going back to Modern Ninjas, the first video that ever got any real traction here on this here YouTube channel. And as you can tell, longtime viewers of the channel can see that I have done a little bit more tinkering. So we're going to go ahead and run this guy through a few games, see if I've made it better or worse. Let's go ahead and run through the basics of this deck. If you've seen my ninja videos in the past or just aren't interested in the deck tech, go ahead and skip to the first match. I tend to put chapters in the timeline. Anyway, for those of you who are still here, a modern ninja deck revolves around creatures with this ability, ninjutsu. So essentially, if you have a creature that is unblocked, you can pay the amount in the ninjutsu triggered ability there, or activated ability, I suppose, and you put the ninja directly on the battlefield attacking, so it's going to connect. And pretty much all ninjas that are worth playing in Modern do something when they connect. So you turn your 0-2 Ornithopter into a Moon Circuit Hacker that can either help you loot or draw, depending on the turn. You have a Prosperous Thief, which lets you put treasure counters into play. You have Ingenious Infiltrators, which not only helps you draw cards when it hits, but when any ninja hits, which includes our Changeling Outcasts, you get to draw that many cards. And finally, the finisher, the haha card, Fallen Shinobi, which allows us to steal 2 cards from the top of our opponent's deck and play them for free. Also, it's a 5/4, so it's a pretty big body, and it's coming in for 1/4 of the starting life total. Other than that, basic stuff, a little bit of removal spells in Fatal Push and Drown in the Lock, which is also a counterspell. I also just have 4 counterspells in here, because they seem good. 3 Thoughtseize, 3 Inquisition of Kozilek just to attack the hand. As previously mentioned, 4 Ornithopters. Oh, and another new addition, 2 copies of Thousand-Faced Shadow, which are a good mana sink, because fun fact, you can keep popping this in and out of your hand, and it'll keep making copies of other attacking creatures. So again, pretty basic creature-based strategy with a little bit of control and interaction elements to it. Mana base is pretty basic. The only difference is I took the Mishra's Factories out. I did not replace them with Mutavaults because I normally find that the colored mana is more important than the silly little manland creatures. Personal preference. All right. Sideboard, not a ton has changed here. Still have Spell Pierces against control. Still have Echoing Truths to pick things up, like Ensnaring Bridges and all that. Oh, and to the viewer who recommended Ensnaring Bridge for the ninja deck, I do agree with that. I do think that's really cool. I just ran out of time to test it. 2 Plague Engineers, these are new. These are great. I find that I side them in against most things to make things weaker or stop 1 toughness creatures from even hitting the battlefield. 2 Nile Spell Bombs to stop graveyards. 1 Pithing Needle to stop combos and planeswalkers. 2 Dampening Spheres to stop Tron. An Emrakul against Mill. Now here's the thing. People who have been watching these videos week after week knows that I've been having a losing streak against Mill. Now I'm going to put an Emrakul in my sideboard, and then I'm not going to play against Mill more than likely. And finally, 2 Chalice of the Voids. Good in a whole slew of things. All right. I mean, pretty easy breezy deck tech this time. It's a pretty simple deck. It is by no means a tiered deck. So we're going into Modern and seeing how many games we can steal, truth be told. All right, folks, thanks for coming along. Let's go ahead and hop into some games. Join me, won't you? All right, and we have won the first die roll. Let's this out the way. And what do we have here? We have 1 Changeling Outcast, 1 Ingenious Infiltrator, Fallen Shinobi, and some lands. This is actually fine, so we'll keep this. We might even just fetch, but then we have to take 3. We don't know what we're up against. We'll just play out a Swamp and a Changeling Outcast. I really hope we don't continue to draw lands because we have literally as many as this deck wants. So our opponent is now reading Changeling Outcast. Not a common creature you run into, in Modern at least. In the Legacy version of Ninjas, Changeling Outcast is great. There's Foundry Retrofitter. Foundry Retrofitter is a house and just lets you turn all of your useless creatures into 4/4s once they're done being, unblockable 1/1s. Let's see what our opponent leads off with. Scalding Tarn, so we could be playing against literally anything in the Modern meta. Steam Vent, okay, does our Outcast die? Ragavan, sure. Well, we're playing ninjas and they're playing a real deck. Neato. Well, we only have one plan here, folks, and that's to set up the Ingenious Infiltrator. So can't block. They're going to hit us with Ragavan, though. That doesn't feel good. All right, this is where you really want your Ornithopter, because then I could have put something back out, but all we're going to do now is draw a card. Hopefully it's Ornithopter. Moon Circuit Hacker. Okay, so Next turn, we just play a whole bunch of Changeling Outcasts, Dragon Rage Channeler. So we are just playing against Murktide. Oh, well, fine, opponent. Prove me wrong immediately. Thoughtseize. Well, there goes Fallen Shinobi. So what is this, Grixis Shadow, based on Ragavan, Dragon Rage Channeler, and Grixis lands? I mean, I feel like Death Shadow is a slightly better deck to go up against than Murktide, which would just value us to pieces. But truth be told, the cards that are being played against us are the same in the Murktide deck and are valuing us to pieces. Our opponent's taken a minute on this Thoughtseize. I have the strangest feeling it's because they have to read the cards. Well, the thing is, they can't possibly get Delirium, so the Ingenious Infiltrator is going to come in for a swing. Yeah, I'm about to say, there's no way this Ragavan doesn't hit us and steal something important. What does it steal? Moon Circuit Hacker. Well, they can't cast that. Oh, they took our Moon Circuit Hacker as well, so we don't have any more Moon Circuit Hackers, and we're going to spend an unfortunate amount of life getting our 2 Changeling Outcasts into play, and then hoping we don't... Oh, he has another Thoughtseize. Okay, so there goes Fallen Shinobi. So before I was able to end my sentence, what I was going to say was we want to set up our 2 Changeling Outcasts and hope that we manage to get the Fallen Shinobi into play. However, silly Brian. Well then, so we'll just play 1 Scalding Tarn. We'll play the Changeling Outcast. I bet you they even don't block this, because the Dragon Rage Channeler hitting us in the air seems more important than stopping us from drawing a card. So swing in with Ingenious. Let's see, what do we draw? Inquisition. That's interesting. Do we want to Inquisition and rip apart their hand? Or do we want to... I guess we want to counter whatever they're doing and make them spend their mana and their spell. All right, so here comes the clowns more. Or just Raggy Man. Ragaman can hit. I mean, again, if he steals something of importance, the good thing about this deck is, like, unless he literally finds Drown in the Lock. Mother! Hey, Brian, stop doing that. So that's the one card we didn't want him to find, because that's removal. And we would prefer if he used the cards in his hand to remove stuff and not the one spell I didn't want him to find. But hey, this is how that particular cookie crumbles. Because now he can play Drown in the Lock and cast a Death Shadow. Oh, a Ledger Shredder. Well, I feel like the second spell is going to be the removal one. I guess I'd rather them not have the Ledger Shredder, because that gives them even more selection. Let's get a Watery Grave, because we actually need multiple black sources, which doesn't feel great. But we'll stop the Ledger Shredder, and if they have a Shadow, I don't think it's a Shadow anymore. I think they were just holding up the Drown in the Lock to kill the Infiltrator after Ledger Shredder was played, so that's fine. Yep. And they get to Surveil off of Darcy. So, literally one card in our deck we did not want them to find, and they find it immediately. Thoughtseize. Okay, well, at least we get to rip stuff out of their hand. Oh. Well, I mean, I'm okay with how this is going right now. So they're empty-handed. We're at 11, though, and they're going to get to hit us again with Ragavan, which doesn't feel good. So at this point, we hope they just find lands, although they binned a lot of lands with Dragon Rage Channeler. This looks like a removal spell. Okay, well, there goes our Changeling Outcast. Looks like they're just trying to get Delirium, which they should do with the Unholy Heat going into the bin now. I don't know why they got rid of the other Dragon Rage Channeler. I feel like that was enough to kind of put them over the edge here. We don't run Wraths, but I suppose if we start finding our removal spells, yeah, you can have the Fallen Shinobi would have done us no favors. Oh, okay. We're doing comedy tonight. That's what we're doing. We're doing haha goofs. Goofs and gaffs, you say? Well, Changeling Outcast. I mean, if our opponent draws dead, as in they draw nothing, this is kinda lethally. But unless they literally just drew a land, I'm pretty sure we're donezo. This doesn't feel like a land. This feels like another Drown in the Lock. So they attack. You have to attack with both. Dragon Rage Channeler is telling you how to win the game, opponent. Dragon Rage Channeler is saying, don't stay back and block with me. Attack and win the game. They find an Inquisition. So they get to Inquisition, see the Fallen Shinobi, and then Ledger Shredder. Oh, okay. Did we just win? I think we literally just won. Get wrecked, opponent. Let's see if they see it. That's so funny. Because even whatever they connive goes straight to the bin. They can't block Changeling Outcast. You did it. Congratulations, opponent. You played yourself. Oh, that's so funny. That is so funny. Do they see it? Oh, it looks like they're gonna let me do it. I mean, cheers, mate. But that's not one I expected to do anything. So bibbity bobbity boobity and bibbity. Pick that up, and we'll deal you 5, opponent. That's cute. Anyway, against Shadow, you say, well, Plague Engineer, you're going to kill things. I mean, we could bring in Spell Pierces to try and fight with them, but like, what do we not want? We can clip one Fallen Shinobi because we should probably only be playing 2 in general. We can also probably clip... I mean, if we take out Drown in the Locks, there's less of a chance of them stealing them from us. And we are bringing counter, but like we kind of do want to kill their creatures, don't we? This is tough. I guess we could take out a Prosperous Thief if we take out a Fallen Shinobi. Got to take out one thing. I'm gonna take out one counter spell. Actually, no. I guess I just put in 2 Plague Engineers. Do we want to put in Spell Pierces? Yeah, I guess they don't have a million mana, so we'll take out 2 counter spells, put in 2 Spell Pierces, and see if that works any better. All right, let's give that a shot. Okay, so I mean we have drop that. Okay, so we have 1 drop into 2 drop. This seems fine to me. Do they have a Raggy Man? Yeah, this looks like Ragavan. Yep, well, luckily for me, my deck is bad, so you stealing things from me isn't actually all that important. So let's just play out Island. Let's play Thousand Face Shadow. Let's play Ornithopter. And then next turn, we can Ingenious Infiltrator and draw 2, depending on what they do here. Because we'll just let Ragavan hit us. Like, they can do whatever they want. I imagine they go for the Ragavan hit. Oh no, they're going to remove one of our things. Oh, here comes Dragon Rage Channeler. Well, this is feeling familiar. Oh, Bobble. Oh no. Dragon Rage Channeler and Bobble is so dirty. One of these days, Bobble will get banned, mark my words, and everyone will be like, yeah, that sounds fair. Opponent just viciously binning lands, taking a peek at their own top card. Unholy Heating the Ornithopter. That's a thing that happens. Well, we weren't going to block with that anyway. We're also not blocking Ragavan, so they're allowed to... Why'd they look at their own top card again? They know what it was, I thought. All right, so that can absolutely hit us because we kind of need our ninjas. What do they steal? Polluted Delta. I will happily take 2 damage to not draw Polluted Delta. Our opponent goes back up to 3 cards in hand. We find Drown in the Lock. I feel like that's actually kind of important. So if we just go get a Swamp, we just kind of go kill the Dragon Rage Channeler. That stops them from kind of doing a ton. Yeah, we're not blocking with Thousand Face Shadow, so we'll just swing in. Because next turn, we can, like, Moon Circuit Hacker, replay Thousand Face Shadow. Comes in, smacks us, this is fine. Just don't find removal. Fallen Shinobi, that's fine. Can't cast it, so I don't care. Actually, they can cast it. Are you going to take your entire turn to cast Fallen Shinobi opponent? Because, I mean, I'm game. I feel like that's a trap, but okay. Oh my god. How many Bobbles has our opponent cast? Did Lyris get unbanned when I wasn't looking? What's going on? For those of you just tuning in, our opponent has cast a Fallen Shinobi. Okay. Do you, I guess. We'll attack with Thousand Face Shadow, cast Ingenious Infiltrator, pop another Thousand Face Shadow down, just try and keep up a little bit. Because, like, I'm less worried about Fallen Shinobi stealing our cards and more worried about, like, losing 5 life. I feel like the life is a little bit more important to deal with. We draw a card. We draw a Fatal Push. Okay. Cool. We can't kill Fallen Shinobi with Fatal Push, but we can go get Island, replay Thousand Face Shadow, and at least not take 5. Actually, if they have removal, we might end up taking 7 anyway. These are things that can happen. Leisure Shredder. Okay, that's a thing. Drown. Terminate. Okay, well, that went as bad as it possibly could have. And now they have a way of blocking our Ingenious Infiltrator and we get nugged for 7. Oh boy. Okay, well, what do you steal? An Ornithopter. Oh, okay, well, no, they get to steal. Okay, so they get to play out a Moon Circuit Hacker and an Ornithopter? Sure. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I feel like we're kind of dead skis here at the... and it's mostly our own Fallen Shinobi just being of 5 power. Okay, now they're just styling on us. Yeah, do I even want to show them Plague Engineer? Like, because does that do anything? Like, we can kill the Ragavan with it, but, like, they still deal us 1,000,000 damage. So we play this out. Ragavan dies. And then we can block with the... I guess they're kind of out of cards, hey. The only thing is, though, we have 7 life, so we're in, like, super chump blocker mode. And we're going to take quite a bit next turn, and we would have to chump block this Shadow. And then they would know about Plague Engineer. Just telling them about Plague Engineer actually do anything. I guess I can't really play around it. We might as well try. So we'll go ahead and just name Pirate. There goes the Ragavan. That's really all we have. And we're going to take 4 next turn. So that's a thing. Hopefully they just draw nothing. If they draw nothing, we can maybe scrape our way back. Because once we kill their Fallen Shinobi, let's swing out with everything. There you are. Kind of saw that coming. This just goes to show you that Fallen Shinobi is the best card in Modern. So good. Just so good. We have to chump and trade. And like if we draw more, oof, okay, that might have done. As they take the Fatal Push now, we really have no way of stopping them. Hey, we'll see what we draw, but I feel like this one's an L. Don't get me wrong. Like the first one felt like an L2 until our opponent just decided we were allowed to win. But you know, I take all W's. I don't care where they come from. Fingers crossing time. Dark Slick Shores doesn't do it. All right, game 3. Womp womp. So, guess if they're gonna steal our stuff, Echoing Truth isn't even that bad. Take out a Thoughtseize, take out a Drown. Spell Pierces don't also seem to be doing much. Put one of our Drowns back in, put in what? Okay, so here's the thing, guys. If we drop a Chalice on 1, that actually completely dismantles our opponent's deck. But it also kind of stops us. So what if we put the Chalices in? Like, these Chalices are here to come in on 0. But what if we put the 2 Chalices in and we take out another Inquisition and one more Thoughtseize? Oh no, we don't have to take out that. We can leave the Inquisition in. We just do it like that and we try to Chalice them out of the game because I don't think they'll see that coming because we have 12 1-drops ourselves. So let's give that a try and see if we can fool them and steal a game. All right, we get to go first. I mean, this has ninjas and interactions, so I'll keep. We'll even do this because I just don't want to draw lands. And the Dark Slick Shores will come in on tap, so it's fine. We'll get the Porter Island. I like the Portal Island. Also, I don't think the way you like buy lands online is indicative to getting more portal lands, but if anyone knows online how to easily get more portal lands, let me know, because I adore the portal lands. Portal was the first set I played. All right, Watery Grave and 2 Fatal. Oh no, Thoughtseize. That's fine. There goes the Moon Circuit Hacker, which is kind of annoying. Yep, as expected. Oh, they have baubles too. Why wouldn't they have just a million things to do? So they look at our top card, so good for them. Let's see, so they know what we're drawing, and we are drawing a Plague Engineer. Sure. We'll just drop 1,000 Face Shadow and attack with our 1,000 Face Shadow. I realize they're Death Shadow, but we have a Fatal Push and a Plague Engineer, so we'll fingers crossed this here situation. Because like next turn, I guess we even do just drop the Plague Engineer on Pirate or Monkey, because they already have 3 different things in the bin, so they're, you know, Darcy's could even just come out. Terminate? Okay. Yeah, you're doing that at sorcery speed, you say. Okay. So it sounds like it feels like they kept the hand just full of removal. A counterspell, though. Suddenly things get interesting. So we just start poking. Keep up counterspell, or do we run out Plague Engineer to a handful of removal? Okay, maybe we just keep up counterspell. Sure. Express it? A Ledger Shredder. Well, haha, hee hee, ho ho. Hoo-hoo. You don't get that. They must have a second spell, though. Yep. Well, you also know I have this, so pow. So we're keeping them empty-handed, or we're emptying their hand with haste. Oh, we'll play that out because we want to stop drawing lands. Play this on Monkey and just turn off Ragavan. Monkey. Cool. And we are in a position we don't want to be in. We're empty-handed. Now, if we could draw any of our ninjas, I feel like they'll help in our situation because we have 4 mana now. Even a Fallen Shinobi would just, again, crunch them for 5. That'd be great. There's Darcy, so there's the end of our fun. We draw Ingenious Infiltrator. That changes things. So I'm willing to trade in the Plague Engineer for drawing 2 cards, because I bet you they block the Plague Engineer. Haha, you fool! You've activated my trap card. In fact, now we'll draw and see if we get a Fatal Push or something. Did you draw a card? Prosperous Thief, you say? Okay, well, 1,000 Face Shadow. I mean, it's the weakest ninja right now, because we actually have plenty of land, but it still does 3 damage, and they are still at 6, so don't underestimate putting them to 3. Another Darcy. Another Darcy. Darcy-rama. Darcy-do. We are going to have to throw away our Ingenious Infiltrator to connect, though, which is unfortunate. We draw a Moon Circuit Hacker. So do we want to get in with the Prosperous Thief? Draw 1. Actually, no. The Moon Circuit Hacker is better, even though it doesn't put them to as low a number. Attack with these 2. Ingenious Infiltrator just gets eaten. And Moon Circuit Hacker straight up draws us 2. Seems decent. Right? So, yep. A card. Yeah, not great. Okay. Well, you know what? I suddenly feel a little bit better. So, looks like we should have enough just to get past him next turn. turn, unless they literally have a Wrath. Because good old Darcy has to attack. And how many possible removal spells could they have? Okay, well, they only have one card in hand. They have to attack. So what's your plan? Comes the swing. Totally fine. If you have your own Fallen Shinobi just in your deck. Oh, no, you didn't. Okay. Cool. So that's a W. We'll just attack with everything. Just in case they have something, we'll even do the ninja stuff. So boobity bobbity, take that back. Then bobbity boobity, take that back. And the game's over. Okay, cool. Our opponent saw that and I'm sorry, what? We won that? Genius Infiltrator's the best card in Magic? What? Okay. Let's go to game 2. All right. I have won a die roll. Good for me. All right. 1 land, Changeling Outcast. Ooh, Ornithopter. So we can even keep this and turn 1 Ornithopter and Inquisition. And our opponent mulliganed to 6. It must be my birthday. All right, so first things first, let's take 1,000,000 damage and pretend like we're Shadow. Look, it's a Watery Grave. I'm totally playing a meta deck opponent. All right, what do we have here? So much removal. We'll take Goyf and we'll just fight through the removal, I think. Hey, look, a thing that's gonna get lightning bolted. So we got rid of the Tarmogoyf because we really don't have anything we could do about that. There goes Blood Crypt. Wow, you're gonna bolt to Ornithopter. What did that poor Ornithopter ever do to you other than try and draw me a card? Black. Thoughtseize. Oh, okay, well, that's also a way to stop me from drawing a card. I suppose you correctly interpreted that the Ornithopter was of no threat. Now, deck, I need lands. You know, I'm telling you the way it is. And the way it is lands, please. Pretty please. Lots of please. Liggity please. Ooh, okay. Neato. So we'll go ahead and swing with Ornithopter. Apparently the Moon Circuit Hacker was not a big enough threat for them to worry about. We draw another card. Watery Grave. Okay, cool. Cast this out. Now they have a whole bunch of removal, but you know, we're pretty empty-handed. We're gonna start rummaging, and we're also gonna start trying to get up to 4 to just cast Fallen Shinobi. And again, Fallen Shinobi dealing 5 and hopefully stealing 2 of Jun's best cards. Bloodstained Mire. Okay, so now we know everything in their hand because they didn't play Wooded Foothills for reasons. I guess I can just double bolt. Yep, there's 1 bolt. That's all they're worried about. Okay. Poor thing, opponent. Oh, nope. They decided that the Changeling Outcast was also a threat. Fatal Push. Okay, so just play this tapped and pass the turn. And if they play any of their threats other than Liliana, we can Fatal Push. If they play Liliana, well, there goes the Wood Foothills. So they have 1 unknown, and I swear if it's Liliana, I'm gonna be so sad. Well, it's not Liliana. Are you abrupt decaying my Ornithopter? What did that poor thing do to you? Yeah, well, now we get to counter your stuff. You have an unknown in hand. We didn't draw land anyway, so we wouldn't have been able to fall on Shinobi, so I suppose the Ornithopter died in vain, pretty much. Plays a land passes, alright. Okay, we're playing Drago. Jun versus Ninja's Drago. Mountain. Sure. Another Fallen Shinobi. Well, Brian, maybe you should take the Fallen Shinobi out and just have 2 Fallen Shinobis. Because when you draw the 3rd Fallen Shinobi, you're going to feel real sad. All right, please low drop creature. Thoughtseize. Well, you know what? It gives me something to do. Shock. Our opponent is playing Shock. Take Abrupt Decay. Wow, this is the jundiest Jun that ever Junned. So much removal. Dark Confidant. Here, that can hit the field, and then we'll just pop it. Bye. All right, low drop creature. Low drop creature. Changeling Outcast. Okay, I guess we have to counter your Shock. So sad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the year is 2022, and I have used a Drown in the Loch to counter Shock in Modern against Jun. What is going on tonight? Do they find... Oh, okay, Dark Confidant. That's fine. Because we're about to deal them 5. We draw... Okay, so we even get to replay our dude once it happens. Sweet. We attack. And he's about to learn why Fallen Shinobi is the best creature in Modern. As we learned last game, he who had the most Fallen Shinobis won the match. All right, well, what do we find? No, I'm the Jun deck now. What does this even do? What is this card? What is this Alara thing? And our opponent scoops. I'm so happy. Okay. Now here's the thing. I have no clue what he's up to. It's just Jund. It's just really confusing Jund. I feel like the Plague Engineers are again great because they'll take out the Dark Confidants. So if we take out the 2 Prosperous Thieves, because it's grindy, it's Jund, right? We'll have plenty of time to draw lands. Let's try that. No small creature, no interaction. No, let's try again. We're going to keep only because we're against Jund and our hand's going to get picked apart anyway, so we might as well have the 3 lands. What? Now you're playing real cards? Since when, opponent? Dark Slick Shores. Here, we're gonna help you get Delirium real quick. Bloodbraid Elf is unfortunate, but it's a minute away. Goyf kind of beats us up right now, so we'll take Goyf again. Verdant Catacombs into a Dark Confidant. That's not... Dark Confidant's actually really good. Flooded Strand. Well, we're gonna... Are we going to be proactive? Yeah, because they still got a turn. We'll be proactive. We'll just go get an island. It's fine. We'll just play out Moon Circuit Hacker, stem the bleeding a bit. I mean, the problem is we need to find so much right now. Took 3 off the Sprouting Trinax. Are you playing Sprouting Trinax? Oh, no, you're killing the Ninja. Lightning Bolt we knew you had. That's fine. And you even played your Forest? Yes, you did. So you have a Verdant Catacombs and a Sprouting thing in hand. Yeah, he's just beating us up now. Next turn he gets the Bloodbraid Elf. That's great. Fallen Shinobi. Well, you would be a lot more exciting in a slightly different scenario. So at this point, you know, we only really have spot removal. Let's see, takes 2 off of Abrupt Decay. Yeah. So here comes Bloodbraid Elf. Is that the same art? Okay, yeah. See what they cascade into. Pyroclasm. See, this is an interesting thing where I just now get to counter Bloodbraid Elf because they brought in Pyroclasm in their deck. So that was an interesting thing they did. And then next turn we get to play Ingenious Infiltrator. I mean, there's no world where Ingenious Infiltrator gets to hit for the Fallen Shinobi to come out, but we could try. We just keep drawing lands, by the way. So that's neat. All right. Come on, opponent, die to your own Dark Confidant. Oh, no. Play another. Yeah, have 2 Dark Confidants, opponent. That's a great idea. No, don't listen to me. What? Greatness at any cost. Oh my god. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're gonna draw 4 cards a turn, but... And of course we just draw... Okay, so we take 2 now or we take 2 later. Let's just take 2 now. Fallen Shinobi. And we'll just stay on defense and we just hope their Bobs kill them. I mean, if their Bobs don't kill them, we are definitely dead. I don't see a world where we're not. Let's see what they do here. Verdant Catacombs, pity. Bloodbraid Elf 4, all right. And Diabolic Edict down to 4. I mean, we're down to 8. Are they edicting? Opponent, play the Bloodbraid Elf. Opponent, 2 for 1s. 2 for 1s. You can find, there's more removal in your deck, I swear. Bloodbraid Elf. There you go. What do you find? Dark Confidant. Yes. Oh my god, and he's playing it. No fear from the Jund player who's at 4. Oh my god. Oh no, they get to cast Diabolic Edict now. Okay, I can stop laughing now. I think they got me. There's Edict. Get to Surveil as well. Do they finally get that? Do they? Oh no, they don't have that yet. What's happening here? 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, that seems kind of fine because you have to draw 4 cards and not do 3 CMC under all of them. So yeah, absolutely no attacks. An opponent, you have to spin the wheel 4 times and not take 3 damage because we are out of ideas on our side. They find a shock. Okay, now do they shock us before the other one? Yeah, okay, they figured it out. All right, game 3 then, right? Yeah. Well, that was different. That was very different. Man, 1 Plague Engineer would have been great. Maybe we take out 2 counter spells because they're only kind of meh. Put in 2 Dampening Spheres, make their Bloodbraids worse. I mean, I honestly have no idea what I'm doing here, but I have a little bit better idea of what our opponent's doing. Let's try that. All right, no small creatures, Mull. Yeah, this is fine. Put a land back. Just a Bloodstained Mire. And Dark Slick Shores, Ornithopter. Oh, but Brian, what if they have removal? Whoa, I have a second Ornithopter. And we pass. All right, opponent, which Ornithopter is going to turn into Moon Circuit Hacker? You don't know. Could be either of them. Dark Slick Shores, you know what? We'll just play that. We'll attack with both Ornithopters because they could kill... They could just be holding up Shock or something. Oh, I suppose they wait until it's Moon Circuit Hacker, then they blow it up. Yep, there it is. Lightning Bolt. But opponent, you left damage on the table. You should have used your Shock and then bolted me later. All right, cool. I mean, this is fine. Verdant Catacombs, good for you, opponent. Do you have a Bob? Oh no, Tarmogoyf, finally. Already a 4/5 thanks to my Moon Circuit Hackers. That's great for my opponent. Polluted Delta. Into Changeling Outcast. Into Crossing Our Fingers really hard, we find another land. If we find the 4th land, then, and it's not Dark Slick Shores, because Dark Slick Shores would take us another turn, then we do get to try and pull their best cards. Finding a Bloodbraid Elf would be awesome. I feel like there's a lot of removal. Or it's the Jund thing that poops creatures. Are you going to attack first and then play the lizard thing, opponent? Yeah, okay. Seems like they're remembering themselves. All right, cool. Yep, here's a lizard thing. No crack. Dampening sphere. Okay, well, you know what? Sounds fine to me. So your Bloodbraid Elf that you were going to play next turn is now not so great now, is it, opponent? Attack with Changeling Outcast. The good thing about Fallen Shinobi 2 is it's not casting the spell, it's just an ability, so we'll still get to steal one of their spells, no problem, if we find the land. Our opponent, on the other hand, having no problems finding land. None whatsoever. Exit both of those, hey? We can give up on one, take 3. Don't want to take too much damage against our opponent's deck. We could just get Junded out. If we don't draw a land, we're in bad shape. Bad. Very bad shape. Dark Confidant, sure. Dampening Sphere. Too bad. So sad. Do it next time. Drown in the Lock. Okay. Well, that'll kill the Tarmogoyf. Sure. This is allowed. You for 1. I mean, if we just lose because we don't draw lands, then we lose because we don't draw land. All right, show me a big old creature. Swamp. Lame. All right, so we're just going to lose to Jund from like 20 years ago. Looking with everything? Sure. So we'll just kill Tarmogoyf. Crunch. Take 5, which isn't great. Okay. What else you got? Another Tarmogoyf. Okay, well, we're probably super dead here. Another Dark Confidant. Sure. Crack this. Actually, if you look at our opponent's stuff too, it's all the old arts. So I honestly think he must have owned this deck for a long time. All right, please be a land. Fatal Push. Not a land, but hey. I think technically, no, they literally deal us 7. That's unfortunate. That's so sad that we just didn't draw the land. Go ahead, Bloodbraid Elf. You'll be sad. Yeah, I think they just got us. They had to pay the extra 1. They're bolting our dude. Now we're super dead. So we just got Junded out. Just old school Jund. Man, think of the times. Oh well, let's try the next one. Having real good luck, with the die rolls today. No lands though, so try again. Believe it or not, folks, this is a completely new hand, even though only 2 cards changed. Sure, fine deck. Put back Counterspell, and put back Prosperous Thief. We're just turn 1 Thought Seizing at this point. See what our opponent's up to. Boggles, but they kept a hand with no Boggle? Get rid of Rancor? Opponent plays a Windswept Teeth. Noble Hierarch. Still feels like Boggles. Or actually, it could be Heliod combo too, I suppose. Does this matter? Get an eye. Play out the world's slowest Moon Circuit Hacker, which will turn into a Ingenious Infiltrator if they don't kill it. Find a way to block it. Permanent, that ability. Whenever a permanent entering the battlefield is this like a Stifle Knot? There's some sort of stifling going on? Well, we get to kill it. Getting it out of the way feels. And then we'll go rummaging. What does our deck have to offer? A Polluted Delta. Actually, get rid of a Circuit Hack. Play the Delta and pass. I want to play the Selesnya Sanctuary. Okay, well, fascinating. Puts a Rancor on the old Noble Hierarch. Okay, this is for blocking purposes? No, they're getting in. Here they come. Here comes Speed Racer. Is this just so that they can then fight the Moon Circuit Hacker? Temple Garden, apt, all right. We're probably somewhat safe here. Bring in a Watery Grave and find more lands. Do not dare fence me in. I want all the land. All right, do they block? Nope, okie dokie. So, Genius Infiltrator. A shishisha. To draw ourselves a card, a Thought Seize. That might not be a bad idea. Yeah, no. I guess we'll get rid of the, that thing. I mean, we're at 11, so perhaps just attacking with Noble Hierarch's gonna get us, but now we draw a card each time we connect with Ingenious Infiltrator, which is great. They have a God's Willing and an Unknown, so they could just God's Willing and give it protection, or no, they could just get in. I mean, I don't exactly have a winning record here, so, you know, we're... This is fine. That's even funnier. We'll go first to the attack. We'll see what they do. Scalding Tarn. That does Detali. They have a God Willing in their hand. Let's go ahead and cast Hacker again. And then when they go to give it protection, we can Fatal Push it. They come. It exalts. We block. A God's Willing. Yep. And then we Kapush. Unless they have 2 God's Willing, we got them. Feels like they have something. They do have another God's Willing. Okay. You do you, opponent. Opponent starts scrying, puts it to the bottom. As the protection from black, fizzles our spell. What are the chances they had multiple God's Willing, and the God's Willing are in there to protect the Noble Hierarch? All right, we don't take any damage, which is nice. We do lose the Moon Circuit Hacker. I got more. Torpor Orb. This feels like they're trying to stifle one of their own things. Like there's some sort of Stifle Knot combo I'm not aware of. All right, we draw Fallen Shinobi. Well, maybe we'll learn ourselves now, won't we? Back with Ingenious Infiltrator. And yeah, is Ingenious Infiltrator the best card in Magic? Let's find out. All right, so K-Runch, and we draw... a Hushbringer and an Eater of Days. Interesting. We cast this. We just get an Eater of Days? So they're Stifle Knotting Eater of Days. They're sad. Thanks, Fallen Shinobi. Okay, so they're Stifle Knotting in like old big Mirrodin creatures. Neat. Plague Engineer on human gets their nobles. Is that worth it? I don't know if that's worth it. Yeah, they have so many stifling effects and creatures. I guess the Echoing Truth might get them. That seems actually more than likely. Take out a Prosperous Thief, take out one Fallen Shinobi, and just do that and see what they do. All right. This is great. Keep. Opponent has no turn 1 play. Hip hip hooray. Fallen Shinobi. Well, that's the thing that's going to make him salty, but that's for later. For now, we have good old Thoughtseize. Containment Priest, please leave. No one would want you here. That's the first time I've seen Containment Priest brought in against ninjas, though. That's interesting. Just playing out the Virtuoso or the Prospector. Okay. We actually get to do both. Look at us. So we swing in with Ornithopter. Man, Ornithopter is great. And, oh, it flies. It flies. Okay. Oh, well. Well, we might as well kill the Strix Prospector when they try and put something in. Virtuoso, yep, nothing we can do about that. You gonna try and put Rancor on it? Well, this seems like a good enough moment as any to push that stupid thing. All right, so now they do still have the Strix Prospector. They don't attack with because they're not silly. Dark Slick Shores. Well, I mean, we don't have anything, so let's play out a Moon Circuit Hacker, which will just get eaten, which is fine. Because at this point, we're just hoping the Fallen Shinobi and find their own eater again. They get to counter the Sanctuary thing. That's great. That's awesome. Another Virtuoso. That's not too worrisome. They're just gonna stay on defense. Land. Inquisition of Kozilek. If they just have the land in their hand, they might just have a land in their hand. I guess we can find out. Actually. No, it's Eater of Days. So, can we do anything about Eater of Days? Probably not. Seems like something we just have a big nothing going on for. They can block both our creatures, and that thing is double strike. So we might as well just get this out. Next turn, they get out Eater of Days, which is sure a thing. And then what? Yep, nope. This is why it would be quite great to have the Echoing Truth to have bounced the Strix Prospector and then kind of get in. He turns into a 2/2, so we get dealt 4 damage. It's so fun. Do we have anything that can help us here? I mean, we have things that are late to the party, because they can just block everything. Hey, why would they let us Fallen Shinobi? But next turn, I mean, I guess we'll try it, and if they see the line and they block everything, then we just scoop. But if they don't block one thing, then we'll Fallen Shinobi. Come on, don't do it. You don't need to do it. It's fine. Don't block. Booger. All right, we tried. Game 3. Now we just have to go faster, hey. Literally all there is to it. All right, well, one more time then. All right. We can kind of trick them, but I feel like this doesn't do a ton, so we'll try again. This seems better. So we'll keep, put back one of our Thousand Face Shadows, and done. We kind of have to set up here because we don't have lands. Get the Watery Grave. Put out our Thousand Face Shadow and yield the turn. Hopefully we draw a land. A black one would be great. So we get to kill whatever their 1-drop is. Yeah, because they have a 1-drop. Noble Hierarch. So I'm probably just going to have to push that, hey. Counter spell. We're gonna try and be greedy here, folks, and hope we just find the land. If we find the land, high fives and horseshoes. If we don't find the land, sadness. Hey, wasn't a black land. I didn't specify. That's on Brian. Oops. All right, so our opponent gets another turn, which is not good for us. Not good at all. Now they have 3 mana. Encore. Another Noble Hierarch. Sure. What are you going to do for 2 mana, opponent? Springer. Well, that'll get popped. We draw Ingenious Infiltrator. So I feel like we just have to pop this now. That go away. And then we attack with both and see if they want to trade the Noble Hierarch for just not taking 2 damage and not letting us rummage. Oh no, they let us. Drown in the Lock. We actually kind of super need that. I feel like we're beyond counterspelling at this point. We don't have enough lands to keep up counterspell. Because they need to get out one of their things that stifles and then get their big creatures out again. Well, there's part 1. All right, another Thousand Face Shadow. So I feel like we do this and now they have God's Willing. Yep, there's God's Willing. Nothing we can do about that. They give it pro blue and now we have no attack. Oh, you have a protection from black. Silly opponent. Now I can attack with Moon Circuit Hacker. Yep. Think bye-bye Thousand Face Shadow, play Dark Slick Shores, and see how dead we are. Containment Priest, Containment Priest. Ah, boy, what does this do? Take a Containment Priest, I guess. So, good to know about that. Virtuoso, sure. Sure thing, Chief. Just non-flash Containment Priest, cool. So our attacks are kind of stumped at the moment. We had kept to our original guns and brought in the Plague Engineer and we played Plague Engineer, we would have killed 3 things right now, but fortunately I am not that good of a gamer. Right, looks like they'll just get in a pot shot. No reason not to with Virtuoso. Yep, there we are. Yep, I mean, that deals 6, so that's a thing. All right, deck, something good, please. Thought Seize, not what I'm going for. Play out our Ninja the hard way because of Containment Priest. There's their second Stifle ability. We can probably trade in Thousand Face now. He's not doing another island, you say? Well, let's take a look at their hand. Seem to be debating just popping something off right now. Yep, just putting things on that, which probably means they just have a land in their hand or something useless. Oh, it was an Aether Vial. Well, they drew another card. Yeah, it's a Sanctuary now. All right, and we just play another Doodah. I mean, I feel like they don't trade in one of their creatures for Ingenious Infiltrator, so we'll swing in and see what they do. If you want to put everything in front of it, that's fine. Just that. I suppose I could just do that and they just bounce off each other. That was silly. When it gets it again with Virtuoso. Virtuoso, cool Abyss reprint. All right. Gotta be honest with you folks, I don't see a way out of this right now. I think we're kind of screwed, is what I think. Yep, nope. Okay, game 4. Moving on. We continue to win die rolls. That's interesting. I mean, we're not winning games, but we're winning die rolls. And isn't that the true meaning of Magic? All right, so we have many Ornithopters in a land. That is just wonderful. We're gonna put 3 creatures down turn 1. So go get us a Watery Grave. Yes'm. And this one. And this one. And this one. Cool. What's your turn 1 look like, opponent? Canyon Slaw. Well, you can't say we've gone up against run-of-the-mill decks this week. One has a stop in my upkeep. That's good to know. Another Moon Circuit Hacker. Okay, so we attack with these 2. Oop, nope, not black. Not black at all. Blue, please. And hopefully we find a land. We find Bupkis. Well, we have plenty of Ornithopters, so for those Urza Sagas that aren't in their deck, boy, is that going to be a big token. Oh, is this Mardu Hollow one? Is that why you have a Canyon Slough? This feels like some sort of Elspark Elemental. Sure? Like a Lightning Bolt? Fortunately for you, opponent, we have so many Ornithopters we don't need. That thing dies. Cool and fun. Please be land. Darkslick Shores, that'll work. We even attack. We're just gonna attack with our things, and we're gonna keep up a counter because I don't want to get Skelementaled. And we give up on Thoughtseize. We just hold up Counterspell. If they do nothing, that's great. They have Dragon Skull Summit, so Skelemental, was that right? Yep. No, thank you. Thousand Face Shadow. Okay, well, we're gonna do some attacking. Leave that guy up and Kashwing. We are going to Moon Circuit Hacker, even though it's bugged online, and it's going to make us draw and discard before we get a chance to just straight up draw. Hey, can I change my can I change my order here? No, that's so weird. Counterspell seems fine. Thousand Face Shadow seems meh. And now we just get to draw a card. Blue to Delta, sure. Now we get Counterspell up again. And I didn't replay Ornithopter because I'm a very silly boy. Let's see what our opponent gets up to here. Lightning Skelemental. Why wouldn't he have it? Go get an island. Guess what? I have as many counterspells as you have Lightning Skelementals. So be gone. All right. So we draw. Swamp. So play Swamp. Keep Ornithopter in hand for when we're looting. We're dealing 5 a turn. That's not nothing. All right. Nope. Get rid of Ornithopter and get rid of Fatal Push. We have 2. Did our opponent scoop? Yep. Oh no, they scooped the whole match. Yeah, no, I guess they didn't like the counter spells and not being allowed to cast anything. But hey, counts as a win in my incredibly petty book. Going on to the final match. So in the final match, we finally lose a die roll. Couldn't have all 5. This hand seems not great, so mull. This hand is risky, but I'm also very bad at this game, so I'm going to keep and put back a Drown in the Lock once I have priority again. Our opponent has also mulled. Keep skis and buy skis. All right, what's your turn 1 opponent? Cavern of Souls on Beast. Okay. Oh, it's a primetime deck. Well, luckily for us, one of our creatures is unblockable. Mr. Changeling Outcast. Watery Grave, sure. We need to move fast. Both fortunately and unfortunately. If next turn we can find a land, that'd be great. It's gotta hurt to, like, literally take your Cavern of Souls and just make a beast. Get out the Grazer and then not put a land into play. I guess they were just trying to, like, stop Ragavans? Not sure. Actually, that's kind of weird that you... This is also weird. That's our whole turn? Sure. Please draw land. Land? Ornithopter. Alright, so we attack with our Changeling Outcast. I got nothing, so we have a Moon Circuit Hacker. And please draw land, please draw land, please draw land. You're supposed to be the chosen one. All right, so looks like we're playing Land Screw the Game. Dryad. So now here comes Dryad of Ilson Grove. Yep. And they have a Valakut. Nito Burrito. So land? Land. Great. So we attack with both Ornithopters and then Ingenious Infiltrator, the one they can't block. Go get just a... I mean, there's a lot of blue in my hand. Yeah, just an island. It's fine. Then Ingenious Infiltrator, black, blue. Pop that to hand. All right. Drew another Drown in the Lock. That doesn't do us a ton right now because they literally have 0 things in their graveyard. So these are just dead cards over here. If they just like find ways to play a whole bunch of lands like Explorers and all that, then we just get exploded off the field, and that's not great. Boros Garrison. So pops Cavern of Souls back to hand. Replays Cavern of Souls on Giant this time. Yeah, Giant. So here comes another beast. So do they have a land to play? No, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So next turn they do get to prime time, and we don't actually have a counter spell that does diddly. Drown in the Lock. Game, you're so mean. We attack with everything one gets through, and that turns into another Ingenious Infiltrator, which I think is the world we live in. That seems like the wrong way to do it, opponent, but you do you. So now I get to draw 2 cards? Thanks. All right, so we found a counter spell. Unfortunately, Cavern of Souls makes the things uncounterable. So here comes prime time. Yeah. So prime time just gets 2 more Valakuts. Valakut and a Vesuva. Do they not have 4 Valakuts? Am I dead? He's just targeting me. I assume that means I'm dead, but let's see. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, many. Yeah, so that's a cool. Oh, I can't concede the game because he's already won. All right, against prime time. We don't actually have a ton against prime time, but we're going to bring in the Plague Engineers because it'll make those stupid cat monkeys less annoying, and that's literally all we have. All right, let's give her a shot. This seems unusable. This seems like the best we're gonna get. Put that back. All right. I mean, I guess we just gotta go fast, so we'll get the Watery Grave. And actually, I'm going to Inquisition to see if they have the thing in their hand. They do. Goodbye, Amulet of Victory. So that will slow them down a touch. Playing a Cavern of Soul out on a... Sure. Why not, game? Why not? They get a Amulet of Vigor anyway. Cool beans. Coolest of beans. Beans are so cool. Thousand Phase Shadow. Our hand has nothing. Another Cavern of Souls. On Giant. Undagoon Easter egg in there for you guys who are also terminally on YouTube as I am. No, we're good. Please draw something of note. Please. Boo. Boo. Boo, one might say. And Plague Engineer on Human. Hello, Human. Technically, I guess we should put that on Snake, but we know they have Azusa in their hand, and they're just going to drop a whole bunch of things next turn. So, with luck, Plague Engineer just swinging in is something they don't want to touch. Here comes Azusa. Yipper! And they don't have 3 things in the graveyard, so I can't kill it. There's a Valakut. There's a Castle Garingbrigg. And there's the turn. Thought Seize. So we can steal one of their lands. It's the best we could do right now. Summoner's Pact. That seems like a good thing to take. Don't know why they let me do that. Sure, opponent. That seems like what you wanted to do. Somebody F6 through a turn. So they have a Turn Timber and an Unknown. There's the Turn Timber. Amulet of Vigor, doing Amulet of Vigor things. Please draw a card of note deck. Now, how come every time I ask for a card of note, you give me a Darkslick Shores? All right, smash. Another Gruul Turf. I have to imagine they have nothing in their hand. If they had anything of note in their hand, they would have played it. Castle Garingbrigg now? Do they have the prime time? Feels like they have prime time. Yeah. Wow, what? Well, there's no countering that with what we have. Good news is Plague Engineer can at least stop it once it deals us some damage. Way too late, but we'll take it. So attack, no blocking, Moon Circuit Hacker, A1, pop this back into hand, and please draw something of note. Note-ish, note adjacent. Replay this, and yeah. We're gonna get hit for quite a bit, but at the same time, we have a Death Toucher, which, I mean, is as good as it's gonna get, I suppose. Oh, they just top deck prime time. That's not good. That's not good at all. Just what, get 2 mountains, right? Talaria West. Oh, they want to bounce the Talaria West to their hand to transmute. So they transmute to go get a 0 drop, and then, but that's like the one spell I can counter with Drown in the Lock, so fart noises. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've lost, but we're gonna go out kicking and screaming, because Yeah. Heals us 8. Yeah, no, we'll trade because we have to. The only way we come back from this is if we draw... Ooh, no, I should have countered that. Oh, well. Pride of Ilson Grove, fine. I wasn't paying attention. If we draw in Fallen Shinobi now, we didn't draw Fallen Shinobi. This have been any different? No, we would have been dead anyway. Cool. See you guys in the wrap-up. Actually, we can attack with Thousand Face Shadow into Ingenious Infiltrator, see if anything happens. Let's see here. No, we're done. All right, let's go to the wrap-up. All right, so what have we learned about ninjas this week? Still not tier 1. Still not tier 2. So we only won 2 out of the 5 we played. The one guy played the first match, got countered, ran away. The other one was the first one we played of the day against Grixis Shadow, which was kind of amazing. Again, Ninjas is fun to play. You saw me just smile as wide as it could be, having fun, not winning. And I think if you want to play Magic for any amount of time, you need to learn to have fun when you're not winning, because boy, is there going to be a lot of times when you're not winning. But yeah, give Ninjas a try. If you do give Ninjas a try, try not to spend too much money on it, because again, it's not a great deck, it's a fun deck. But yeah, always recommended. And I think it's time we go to the Black Void, where the 2% of people who stick around for that part of the video get to see something cool from my Magic collection. Let's see what it is today. So today, we are looking at another binder of mine. This is just one of my play binders. It's not the great little gray book of all the interesting things in Magic. And this one is my multicolored spells. And the reason I want to show this off today is because it's all of the cards from my childhood that were multicolored that made it all the way here. So these are not cards that I bought later. These are cards that I actually opened back in the day or were given to me by a friend when I was a kid, though. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to see if we stay in the Black Void or if we need to just turn the thing off and go on the green screen, because a lot of these have colors in them. So let's find out together. All right, everybody. I had to turn the green screen effect off real quick so that these looked good on camera, but allow me to show off some of my cards from childhood. All right, so these are a little bit topical, as you can see. A lot of... Chronicles. Chronicles back in the day was fun for me. Apparently Chronicles is what caused the reserve list, which is sad. But, you know, and it was really these guys up here, these Elder Dragons. So 3 of those Elder Dragons came out of packs. This Elder Dragon over here, he was given to me by a friend. And yeah, even as a kid, I was like, oh, the black border one looks better. But I mean, at the same time, it's pretty beat up. All right, and on the other page here, I don't know what that random common's doing there. I guess I just liked it, so it continues to be there. A couple of other old things. Sabertooth, whatever, protection from blue and red and trample, and a 5/5. Boy, that was great. Pygmy Hippo, he's just funny. Phyrexian Purge, again, topical at the moment. Monsoon and Malignant Growth, I don't even know if those are rare. I think I just liked the art when I was a kid. Solitari Gorillas, I pulled out of a tournament pack. Let's see, Overgrown Estates, sacrifice a land, gain 3 life, so it's a bad, like, Zoran Orb or whatever that is. Dahmer's Crusade, which all goblins get bigger and become zombies. And finally, just, Radiant Kavu, yeah. So the rest of the binder's not necessarily like that, but I do have a lot of stuff like that from back in the day. So there you have it. Just another fun thing from my Magic collection from years ago. If you have a deck you would like me to take a look at and maybe even play on the channel, email me at HeyDummyPlayThis@gmail.com. That's HeyDummyPlayThis@gmail.com. I hope you guys had fun. Remember to leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the video, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye.